Today we're talking about Jeff Bezos and a handful of other tech giants all throwing their hat into the robot game. Facebook and PayPal mogul Peter Thiel is ramping up his crusade against college attendance. And a number of colleges and universities have agreed to settle in a case accusing them of, well, price fixing. All in this money episode of But before we start, don't forget to hit that subscribe button so you never miss an update, and let's just jump right into it. Alice, let's talk about your people first.
In tech news, FigureAI, a startup focusing on developing human-like robots, has attracted significant investment from some of the biggest names in technology. Jeff Bezos, NVIDIA, and other prominent investors, including OpenAI and Microsoft, are backing the company in a funding round that aims to raise about $675 million, valuing the startup at around $2 billion before the investment.
Okay, so Amazon founder and space enthusiast Jeff Bezos, along with some of the biggest names in tech like Nvidia, are starting to put their chips on a startup company named FigureAI. The company's main goal is developing robotics with human-like capabilities. There's a lot of them doing this. FigureAI is in the process of raising a whopping $675 million in funding, with a valuation of about $200 billion before the money even hits the bank. Bezos is throwing in around $100 million out of pocket. Well, technically his firm Explorer Investments LLC. Microsoft isn't far behind that with $95 million in investment. Nvidia and an Amazon affiliated fund are tossing in about $50 million to pop too. And really just a bunch of other people. Like all these guys. Now for a bit more context, FigureAI will be building general purpose humanoid robots. So not your typical factory line robots, more like robots that can work across different environments, from warehouses to retail stores. And as of now, all companies involved, including FigureAI, are keeping their lips sealed, really not having commented on the investments at all. But it's just very clear that the race to develop and deploy AI and humanoid robots is heating up pretty quick. With both tech giants and venture capitalists throwing their hats in the ring, we're on the verge of seeing some groundbreaking advancements. And while the potential for these technologies is enormous, I can't stress how much of a red flag this is about the future of work and how society will adapt to the changes. I mean, as of right now, there is palpable pushback against the rapid advancement and integration of AI into our lives. Take, for example, the recent writer strike, where one of the provisions was about ensuring movie studios can't replace their human writers with AI, although we'll see how long that lasts. Despite any of the public's concerns and efforts to fight back, the powers that be, yes, I'm talking about the rich, the powerful, and the corporations, are all in on AI. Why? Because at the end of the day, it's always about the bottom line. AI promises to save them countless dollars in the future, people. From automating tasks that currently require human labor to optimizing operations in ways that we're just beginning to understand, the economic incentives here are just too enticing to ignore. So where does this leave us? You know, the average Joes and Janes. Well, it feels like we're gonna be caught between a rock and a hard place. The reality is fighting against the tide of AI might be a losing battle. By might, I mean it will be a losing battle. So it's not about capitulating, but adapting. The best course of action we can take is to start understanding what this technology can and will be used for. We need to educate ourselves not just on the potential dangers, but also the potential opportunities the AI presents. It's about finding a way to coexist with AI and to leverage them in ways that enhance our life. Right, Alice? My best friend. Except for my editor.
Peter Thiel, an early investor in Facebook and founder of PayPal Holdings, has been offering $100,000 to young individuals to leave college and pursue their entrepreneurial or nonprofit dreams since 2010. This year, amidst a growing debate on the necessity of higher education, Thiel plans to welcome 20 new fellows from its largest applicant pool yet.
Right, so other Facebook man, Peter Thiel, has been paying folks about $100,000 to ditch their college dreams and jump straight into the startup life. Since 2010, Thiel's been on a mission to convince the younger generations that the traditional path of higher education might not be the golden ticket we've all been told it is. Which, full disclosure, like I've said before, I went to college, I have a degree, so take this discussion however it is you want to take this discussion, I guess. It is expensive as fuck. Obviously, critics have been up in arms calling him everything from a hypocrite to the destroyer of dreams, which is kind of a badge, man. I don't know if that's a bad thing, lucky bastard. Even the former president of Harvard has spoken on the matter, calling it the most misdirected philanthropy of the decade. Old people shade. Nice. I like. Now, Thiel's program is about to welcome 20 new fellows diving into the fields of AIs and cryptocurrencies. Like I was just saying, the rich people really want these things to come up. Since it started, the program supported roughly 270 individuals with some notable success stories. Ever heard of Ethereum? Or maybe Luminar Technologies? That's a self-driving tech company if you haven't heard of it. Yeah, well, those were founded by Thiel fellows. Now, Thiel's always been a bit of a maverick. He has been very critical of the higher education system, arguing that it isn't the one-size-fit-all society sells it as, and he is very much putting his money where his mouth is. And it seems as of late, public opinion might be shifting in his favor, with more people questioning the value of a college degree amidst the rising tuition costs. Which, yes, my degree cost money. Sucks. Interestingly, about a third of the Thiel fellows eventually return to college, which suggests that even those who take the leap into entrepreneurship see a value in formal education, at least under certain circumstances. Now, for those of you thinking about skipping college to start your own venture, remember, there are plenty of other options as well. You can look into certification programs, trade schools, things like that. I 100% support college alternatives, so long as you actually do something past your high school diploma, because the risk of being stuck in a dead-end job is just way too high without something. And for those viewers still in school or considering it, there is a value in education. I can't lie and tell you that my life didn't get significantly better after I got my degree. Am I still struggling? Fuck yes. Is the struggle as bad? No, I can afford my own apartment, feed myself, and still have time to develop things like this channel, to further my future. Now, while we're on the subject of colleges and their outrageous costs,
a handful of prestigious universities have agreed to a $166 million settlement over a lawsuit alleging collusion in determining financial aid packages. The lawsuit accuses illegal price fixing, impacting the financial aid calculations for students.
Yeah, so several prestigious universities, including Dartmouth College, Northwestern University, Rice University, Vanderbilt University, have agreed to pay a collective $166 million to settle the lawsuit, accusing them of colluding to determine student financial aid packages. The settlement is part of a broader case involving a group of 17 highly selective institutions, which were accused in 2022 of illegally price-fixing activities that potentially affected the financial aid packages of their students. The lawsuit is centered on the school's participation in a group known as the 568 Presidents Group, allowing them to take advantage of a federal antitrust exemption. The exemption permitted schools to work together on aid calculations, provided they did not consider their financial need during the admissions process or discuss individual aid offers. However, the lawsuit alleged that the institutions did take financial considerations into account under certain circumstances. Such as favoring children of wealthy donors or selecting candidates from their waitlist based on financial status, as long as we didn't have to give them. The collective payment will be going to a fund intended to compensate students who are potentially harmed by the practices. While the institutions involved in the settlement have denied any wrongdoing, because of course they would, they say they've opted to settle the lawsuit to avoid costs and the distraction of a continued litigation, which is only a little bit suspicious. And on that piece of the elites got caught red-handed news, we're gonna call it. Don't forget to let me know your thoughts on any of the topics we talked about today, and I'll see you next time. Bye.